Alright, so we're going to be playing the, in air quotes, meta deck. This is supposedly like the super busted GDI deck. I kind of think that Razorback Sniper is very good at the moment. Like, I play... The deck I've been playing is this, so it's just Orca instead of Gren. I personally prefer the Orca. I still think Grens are kind of bad. Like, I don't really like Gren. I don't think the buff has made that much difference. I think they're still kind of weak. It's surprising how inefficient they feel, given that they have like the same hit points as mutants now, and they're fast. You'd think they would be like really good, but they just don't feel that good to me still. Anyway, we're going to be playing this deck because, you know, that's the supposedly it's the tits. So we're gonna give it a go. I mean, I know Mcneil is like a very polarizing card at the moment. Some people seem to think that Mcneil is like incredibly busted, like beyond obnoxious, insanely good. I'm not in that camp. I've played and watched a lot of Mcneil, and most of the time, in my experience, it seems like it just doesn't actually do anything. Like, a lot of the games where I see people playing Mcneil and like they use the Mcneil, a lot of the time the situation is they were going to win the matchup and they won it harder than they would have normally. And that just doesn't seem that impactful to me. Like, you're spending 40 tib to like dominate a matchup you were already winning. It's very infrequent I see people like flipping a matchup because of it, or having a situation where like they were definitely getting crushed and then suddenly the Mcneil like massively brings them back into it. I don't know. Personally, I think Mcneil is very overrated at the moment. I think he is decent. I think he's just like... People are just like losing their minds over a playable Mcneil because they're so used to it being absolute trash and doing nothing. Like, the idea that the Mcneil now does something, that's enough for people to be like, wow, this is crazy. Because like, compared to how it used to be, yeah, it's nuts. Like, it's way better than it used to be. But does that mean it's good? I don't think it does. Like, just because it's way better than it was doesn't mean it's actually good. It just means it's way better than it was. Like, I mean, I know this like wasn't an amazing Mcneil spot or anything, but it did nothing, right? It actually did nothing in that spot. I just spent 40 tib and it was downside for me. So I don't know, man. I'm really not convinced about this Mcneil supremacy thing at all. Like, my opponent just went Rhino, and that was vastly superior to Mcneil. Jesus, man. I'm fucking run over by Rhinos completely. Absolutely dominated by Rhino here. I guess this is where Gren should be super good, I think. Like, this is a good example of when Grens should shine. If he's using Rhino as his anti-infantry, then Grens should be bonkers. Oh, he also has Sniper. See, like, this Mcneil trap just forces me to back up. It doesn't actually do anything, right? Like, I just move away from it. That's what that Mcneil trap did. It just forced me to move. I just moved backwards slightly. Didn't actually do anything. So, like, arguably it bought him a little bit of time, but was that really that impactful? I don't think so. Oh shit. Oh nice, I have Gren's top, okay. I thought I was fucked because I thought his Rhino was gonna kill whatever I had top, but it was Gren, so actually I'm fine. Yeah, the Gren has been incredibly good so far. The Gren has actually been great in this matchup, which, to be fair, I said if he's using Rhino as the anti-imp, then Gren should shine. And it has been shining, so good job, Gren. Again, like, down here, we both had a Mcneil trap, and they just kind of didn't do anything. I guess they, like, arguably cancel each other out there. But is that really that exciting? I don't know, man. I'm really, like, super unconvinced at the moment. This guy's deck looks so bad against Gren. Like, honestly, I haven't seen any anti-infantry. Oh, he has snipers, I suppose. But if I have Razorback, so if I play Razorback Gren, I should be massively favored here. Yeah, I'm switching to Razorback Gren. That seems like the play. I think the ability of the deck to play, like, multiple unit combos. Like, you can play Razorback Gren, Sniper Gren, Sniper Razorback, Sniper Missile, Sniper... Like, so many, like, good, powerful combos you can play in this deck. I think that's what makes the deck good, honestly. I don't think Mcneil is really that relevant. Alright, here we go. Mcneil. Gonna be big. We have stopped the, we stopped the Mohawk from killing us. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't do that much. It really just doesn't. It just didn't do anything in that game. I really feel like a strong arm turret would have done more than Mcneil every single time Mcneil came down.
Mission accomplished. Battlefield control.
Surplus? Uh-oh. Surface pretty scary.
3, 2, 1. New objective received.
Replace Sniper with MG. Yikes, bro.
Building online. Unit ready.
Surface is a pretty good opponent. I would generally expect to lose to Surface. Although I do have the Mcneil advantage, so you know, GG easy. Not having emotes. Yeah, not having emotes with Mcneil. That's the other thing. Mcneil doesn't have emotes, so like there's a pretty big downside there. That's like a pretty huge power drop in the commander. You don't have the emotes, which are obviously insanely powerful.
Unit ready.
This is going okay so far, although he's about to tech switch. Yeah. No, I don't have the Tiberium to tech switch myself.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Gotta find out what he has to counter Sniper.
Unit ready.
Sniper not that good on this map. We wanna get this matchup to go for as late as possible, so that we can tech switch into Razorbacks. We don't want to be playing snipers on this map. We want to be playing Razorback. Although I am now going Gren, so maybe that's a mistake given what I just said.
Defense online.
Oh, that was not a very good Mcneil trap. That one that one was on me. That's obviously a terrible Mcneil trap. Oh, Fanatics. Surface is trying to make Fanatics work. Fanatics were bad. Snipers were good against Fanatics even when Fanatics were busted, so yeah. This doesn't feel great for Surface. Inferno, that's pretty scary.
Defense on missile launched. Unit lost.
Oh shit, I just moved my snipers into the thing by accident. That's pretty awkward. I'm fucking this one up for sure. There's some big misplays going on by me.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Harvester ready.
Where's my half going? Oh, I have not played this game well.
Defense online. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Yeah, I fucked this game up. Although, like,
Harvester ready.
I mean, I've obviously fucked this game up, but also Mcneil has done nothing for me.
Unit lost.
It's actually still not going that badly, despite how much I fucked it up. It's obviously not going great, but it's not going terribly, honestly.
Assault cancelled.
Given how many Infernos he has, you'd think I'd just be dead by now. And instead I'm not dead, which is better than being dead.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Warhead launched. Major structural damage.
I lost like 2 Harvesters and he spammed a million Infernos and I'm still not dead yet.
Unit ready.
Now I'm about to lose my 3rd Harvester.
Unit ready.
Which against an Inferno deck is not great.
Unit lost.
Bro, did you seriously not kill it?
Unit lost. Unit
So many Infernos, man. There's such a crazy number of Infernos. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm so far behind in this game.
Unit lost.
He's made like 1,000 Infernos. And it's still going not like that terribly. Like, it's going badly, but I'm not completely dead yet.
Unit lost.
I am actually completely dead though, aren't I? If I'm being honest. If we're being honest with ourselves, chat, I am completely dead.
Harvester ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost.
I mean, yeah, I didn't play this game well. I lost like 1,000. I lost like 1,000 halves. But this deck doesn't have air-to-air, so Inferno is... Mcneil does nothing against Inferno. Yeah, like another thing, right? If I had Jackson, it'd be so much better in that game against Inferno. Even Strong Arm would be better. Like, Mcneil was completely worthless in that game because it's just not very good against Inferno. Takes like 5 minutes to clear drones under Mcneil trap. Just move, Ice. Just move. Like, the unit can just move. This is the thing. You put drones on a pad and you Mcneil, there's no spot where the Mcneil trap can cover the entire pad. So any unit that is shooting the drones can just move out of the trap. So I really don't think so.
New objective available.
I really don't think Mcneil, even with drones, is that busted. Like, if the player is standing in the trap trying to kill your drones, then that's on them. Because they can just move their unit out of the trap. It is literally impossible to put a trap that covers every single tile of a pad. So just move. Just move out of the trap and kill the drones. Like, that's the solution. If you are not doing that, then that just means that you're bad. That's like saying strong arm turret is overpowered because you can put it down and an opposing unit that stands next to it dies. It's like, yeah. you put a turret down next to snipers and you kill the snipers. It doesn't make turret OP. It means the person playing the snipers didn't move them. So yeah, I'm super not convinced.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
I'm not really sure where I threw that game against Surface. I think like the second harvester kill. I think when I rebuilt my harvester and it went middle and I let it go middle, that was the fuck up. Like I needed my harvester to be at the top where it was easier to protect.
Unit lost.
But honestly, once you just started spamming Infernos, like Infernos are still super strong. I don't know why people are like, I've seen a lot of people say Infernos aren't good now, which is just nuts. Like the unit is obviously still bonkers. And if you have enough money to just spam them, it's obviously still insane. Especially if there's no air-to-air. Like if I had Talon in that game, I'd maybe have a chance, but with no Talon, with no air-to-air unit, it's really hard to beat Infernos.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready.
I'm just not sure. Like, am I supposed? I could use Mcneil here, I guess. And then what? It stops his missiles killing my pitbull. Okay. It just doesn't feel that impactful. I don't really get it. I don't get the hype, man. I really don't get the hype.
Missile launched.
You can't cover the whole pad, Ice. It's impossible. A trap can never cover 3 tiles of a pad. It can only ever cover 2, so that's just not true. It's so rare that I see a Mcneil actually be the thing that changes the game. It usually just shuts people out when they're already dead. What's up, Gary? Thank you for the 47 months.
47 months.
I guess I want to stall, so I'm going to move off the pad. He looks like he wants to charge.
Unit ready.
People ready to bite.
I personally, I still think what I said earlier is true. People are so astounded by the difference in power level between old Mcneil and new Mcneil that they're saying it's incredibly overpowered. When if they actually look at the effect it has on the game, it's not that impactful. Like, it's just the fact that it's so vastly better than what it used to do. So people see a Mcneil and they're like, wow, that's actually doing something. That is so much better than what Mcneil used to do, which was nothing. And they're like, that's insane. Like, it's so much stronger than it used to be. It's like, yeah, because it actually used to do nothing. Like, previously it did nothing, and now it does something, and people think that's vastly better. And it is, it's vastly better than it was, because it used to do nothing. But it doesn't mean it's good. Like, if you compare it to, like, a strong arm turret's effect in a lot of situations, I think a lot of the time, if you see a Mcneil trap come down, and think, how would that have compared to a strong arm turret? A lot of the time, a strong arm turret would have done the same thing. Like, you're in a bad spot, a strong arm turret comes down and shuts you out because you can't get past it. And I mean, like, yeah, that's my current take on Mcneil. And no one's like, oh, strong arm turret wildly overpowered. That one everyone's fine with, because they're used to strong arm turret being a high impact play. They are used to the fact that a strong arm turret comes out and something happens, and they're like, wow, that did loads. But that's what a strong arm turret does a lot of the time. Maybe if you could kill the Mcneil trap, people wouldn't be so mad about it. I don't know how many hit points it would have to have, though, to be balanced. Probably quite a lot. Because, like, it doesn't actually have any, like, significant impact right away. Anyway, that's my thinking on Mcneil at the moment. And I have yet to see many games that have dissuaded me of this thinking.
Objective complete. 3, 2, 1. New objective available.
Time to harvest.
Building online. Unit ready.
Dinkin.
Unit ready.
Pitbull best unit in the game. Now that is something I can agree with. If Pitbull is not the best unit in the game, it's damn well close. It's probably like definitely top 5. There's like no doubt in my mind of that. I would say it's probably top 4. It's hard though, because missiles and lasers do the same thing, and they're both insanely good. Like, it's hard for any unit to get top like 5, because missile and laser is always up there. Oh shit, Renardin. 24 subs, does that put you to 1k? Insane. 1,000 subs in the channel, outrageous. Yo, thank you so much, Renardin. The other thing I found is that a lot of people are saying like Mcneil sniper is super busted, but snipers are so fragile that if you Mcneil trap a unit attacking your sniper, a lot of the time the sniper still dies. So it's like the Mcneil is not even that good with the snipers. I think that people are just winning games with snipers and saying Mcneil is busted. That's what I think is happening. They're like, I won this game with my snipers and look how insane Mcneil was. And you're like, yeah, but sniper is what won you the game. Like, sniper is crazy good. Sniper, I think, is arguably overpowered at the moment. Sniper feels like one of the best units in the game, if not. Like, sniper is definitely a meta-defining unit right now. Like, I could Mcneil here to slow down the damage he does to my pitbulls, but that's just so low impact. I could Mcneil here so that I trade, like, a pitbull for an orca, but you trade a pitbull for an orca anyway. That's already how that interaction goes. So, there's just so many things that are, like, you can Mcneil to have the same outcome, but then you can blame the Mcneil. Like, that's what's going on. You can be like, hey, look, this thing happened with Mcneil. It would have happened anyway, but then you can say it was Mcneil that did it. That's kind of how it feels to me.
Notice hashtag 13 lane.
Like, here I've Mcneiled an APC so that my Grens can 1v1 it. Grens already 1v1 an APC. The only difference is they have more hit points now. That's kind of mediocre, but I would not be surprised if Dinkin is like, oh my god, that Mcneil was super strong. Like, I'd certainly agree that against like 2-range fortressy type units, Mcneil is absolutely absurd. So basically, units that can't get out of the trap effectively, Mcneil is incredibly good against those things. But that's like a pretty small subset of the game. And it's kind of like, I think it's a little bit like saying I was playing Tech and I lost to Solomon. You're like, yeah, your opponent's commander power kind of counters what you're doing. That doesn't really mean necessarily, or like MLRS versus Jade even. If you're playing MLRS, you can't dodge a Jade missile anymore because it's faster now. It doesn't mean that Jade's OP just because your MLRS deck is weak to it, right? It just means that that commander is good versus your deck. So that's kind of how I feel about it. The times when Mcneil looks insane, I think that's just when Mcneil is good, and I don't think it's crazy for Mcneil to have situations where he's good. This is going to be a flipperoonie. Oh, almost didn't get the block in time, it was close. Anyway, I don't know, man, this whole like video is turning into a rant about Mcneil. I'm going to go Razorback against the mutants, because I think Sniper's not actually that good against them. Also, if he has Mutant, it's probably Mutant Chuggy. So, like, Razorback Gren should be excellent. This is another thing I've seen people saying. Like, you can Mcneil trap with your Razorback and then go in. And that's something people are like, it's super OP for. But, I don't know, man. That just feels like the one thing that Mcneil can actually do. Just, I don't know, I'm incredibly unconvinced at this point. Incredibly unconvinced. Barely stalled that missile, that was super close. No, looks like I'm gonna lose the missile. I think I've used Mcneil once in this game, and actually it was a mistake when I did it, because all it let me do was kill his mutants with my Razorback, which Razorback could have probably done anyway. Alright, so we're gonna play Gren Razorback, because that should be super good against Chuggy Mutant. Here we go, we're gonna get the Mcneil trap when he tries to push in. JK. Alright, so there we go, we can Mcneil trap these. Just kind of like halted his push. It didn't make me win there, it just stopped him from pushing anymore. Yeah, just so low impact, man. Haha, too fast for you, son. Friends are fast, man. Easy dodge. Like, does anyone really think that I couldn't have won that game with no commander power? I feel like I could easily have won that game with no commander power. You had fun because you won them all, Bike Rush. Going for 400 tomorrow, like 400 win streak or 400 games in one day.
New objective available.
This deck is better with Jackson in your opinion? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's kind of what I'm saying. I just don't think the Mcneil is actually that good. There are situations and scenarios where it looks absurd. I will grant you that. However, I think that most games where I'm playing Mcneil, I either don't use it or when I use it, it's not good. It kind of feels a bit like Solomon in that regard. You know, when you get a busted Solomon, it looks absolutely egregious. But most of the time, you either don't use your Solomon or it's just not very good. Like, when it's good, it's great, but most of the time, it just isn't that good. And that's not a very good commander power. Like, Jackson is a commander power that you will use a lot of times in a game, and if you use it well, it'll be good every time. It's very easy to identify when Jackson is going to be good and use it properly. That is not the case at all for Mcneil, in my opinion.
Building online.
I think it's way harder to identify good spots, and even if you do identify what looks like a good spot, a lot of the time it ends up not actually doing that much. I mean, I'm willing to admit I'm wrong though. Like, if I see some evidence to the contrary, I'll be like, yeah, fair enough. That was bonkers. It's just like I keep asking people to be like, show me. I'm like, yeah, Mcneil's super busted. Show me. And it's very infrequently they actually can. Oh, here comes the Rockworm. We've got Grens for the Rockworm, boys. I actually think I should not have killed the two Harvesters in retrospect. Oh shit, that's not good. Like, I should have just been on the pads. Killing the two Harvesters was a misplay.
Defense online.
Harvester here.
Unit lost.
Rockworm is an obnoxious unit. The fact that it's bugged makes it even more obnoxious. Like, you can't. A burrowed Rockworm blocks you from moving, which is a bug. It isn't supposed to do that.
Unit ready.
It's a lot of Rockworms, my dude.
Harvester here. Yes, come strafing over. Harvester report, Dr. Harvester.
Unit lost. Warning. Enemy catalyst missile.
Alright, couldn't have done it without Mcneil. I don't think I used Mcneil once and it did nothing.
Mission.
I don't know, man. But I mean, I don't know if the Mcneil like stopped the Rockworm from burrowing. If it stopped the Rockworm from burrowing, then it's good, but it shouldn't do that because it doesn't affect. I don't know if burrow is like classed as an attack.
Building online.
If burrow is classed as an attack, then Mcneil might stop it burrowing. This is something we should test. We should definitely test this. All right, see you, Renardin. Thanks for the subs, man. It's a truly gigantic number, my dude. Yeah, if burrowing is tied to fire rate, then Mcneil might stop a Rockworm burrowing, in which case it's kind of insane versus Rockworm. Like, in a comical way. Because it, like, stops it moving. I don't think that's the case, though. I think he just stopped moving his Rockworm. We'll need to test it, because that is a very interesting interaction. Ooh, sniper mirror. Mcneil trap OP! Oh, he just moved away. Oh, no, he's still here.
Unit ready.
Yeah, see, like, here, this is insane, right? Like, look how much better the Mcneil was than the Jackson. But also, he just stood in the trap. Like, his snipers were actually moving away, and then he moved them back in with the boost to try and fight, and he lost. He could have just moved out of the trap, right? He could have just moved away from the trap, and then it wouldn't have happened. But yes, Mcneil versus Jackson, the Mcneil dominated, like, super hard. Burrowing should be part of movement, so yeah, burrowing should not be affected, but who knows, man. Like, I don't feel like packing up a unit and setting it up should be affected either, but it definitely is. So I'm kind of, like, unsure if it's bugged or not. This guy has shocks and snipers, by the way, which is insane.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Mcneil OP. Couldn't have done it without Mcneil.
Nuclear weapon launched. Objective complete.
Gold League. Did I not say Gold League as well? It was in my head, but I might have forgotten to say it. But yes, Gold League as well.
2, 1. New objective available.
Is this the guy on the Discord, Observer?
Harvester ready. Unit ready. Building online.
He's probably gonna go bikes soon. Yeah. Do I go Pitbull? I'm gonna go Pitbull. I don't know about this though. It doesn't feel great. Oh shit, he has level 10s. I just realized they're level 10 and 11. Alright, this isn't a game anymore. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this is not a game. His units are heinously low level.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Missile cancelled. Unit ready.
My Gren's one-shot each bike model.
Missile launched.
That's pretty gross.
Ready. Unit lost.
Definitely looks like I want to be Razorback Gren in this game
Unit
though.
lost.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Enemy base destroyed. Three, two.
It's kind of nuts that at one point Copycat was first in hours, and now he's like 1,000 hours behind George.
Online. Unit ready.
Bike opening. Alright.
Unit ready.
Gonna try and get the dogs around behind the bikes. No, it's not working.
Unit ready.
A lot of bikes, man.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
I guess I'll go Sniper because we haven't got time for Razorback, but Sniper not great versus Mutant. Probably Mutant Chuggy as well.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Managed to flip it, maybe? Let's go. So good at the game.
Missile cancelled. Unit lost. Missile cancelled.
It is, in fact, Chuggy.
Defense online. Unit lost.
Okay. Where are the dogs going? Okay.
Unit lost.
That was close.
Unit ready.
Oh shit, have I fucked it? I might have fucked it, boys. Oh, it was close. So close.
Unit lost. Unit
Oh, this missile is ridiculously close. Ah, oh, fucked it. Fucked it at the end there. He is playing Mutant Chuggy though, so Gren Razorback should be really good against him.
unit lost.
I just need to make it to Razorback.
Building online. Unit ready.
And Gren's just not that good, are they?
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yes, Commander Squad reporting.
Defense online. Unit ready.
I guess that Mcneil trap was pretty good. Hard to argue with the results there.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Nuclear missile launched.
Although, to be fair, this matchup should be incredibly good for me with Razorback Gren.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Talk to me. Strafing over. Grenadier awaiting. Best in the people. Pedal to the. I'm a maverick of the sky. Canting left. Pedal to the men. Strafing targets. Let's give them the pitbull in a dogfight. Razorback ready.
Unit lost.
Yes, Commander. Charges. Got it. Ready for action. Ready for closing.
Defense online. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Uh-oh. Okay, I think we win.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Nuclear warhead.
Yay! There was definitely one good Mcneil in that game. The one where he tried to push down bottom with the drill pod and I Mcneil. It definitely did something there. But it is, again, like, it's matchups. It's matchups that I'm going to win anyway, and then the Mcneil pushes it over the top and we dominate the matchup instead of just winning it. Alright, there you go, there's the deck. You can form your own conclusions about Mcneil. I personally think that I played 10 games with Mcneil there and the trap was good once, maybe twice. Like, if I was to go back, like, in my opinion, the trap was good once or twice in 10 games, which is not a very potent commander power. It does look very good when it's good, but most of the time it just does nothing or you don't use it, so, I don't know. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.